Hey everybody, it's Andrew from SnakeWerks. I came downstairs to the snake room this morning and I found two of my blood pythons had defecated, and I realized I was kind of striking a pattern where I've been finding smaller and smaller defecations from them. Kind of hilariously, blood pythons and short-tailed pythons are known for dropping these giant poops, and everyone takes pictures of it and it's funny, haha. Not so funny when you have like over a dozen of these animals and you're constantly picking that up. So a couple of years ago, I started raising the humidity in my snake room and feeding almost all my snakes smaller meals. I've noticed that since then, my short-tailed pythons have been defecating smaller, much more manageable poops, and they actually seem to be doing it on the regular basis. I think a lot of the larger pooping is what happens when they retain the poo. So I'm surmising that if you would like to not be picking up giant poo all the time, and you really shouldn't want to be picking up giant poo all the time, you should be feeding your blood and short-tailed pythons slightly smaller meals, keeping the humidity high, and see how that all works out for you. Because I've had great success with it here. So why don't we go take a look at what I found this morning? Okay, so along the lines of blood pythons having massive poops, I personally believe that just comes from them retaining their waste for longer than maybe they would in the wild due to, I don't want to say improper husbandry, but I've noticed as I've cranked up my humidity, I get smaller poos from these animals. It may be that I'm also giving them slightly smaller meals, but when I first started keeping, I would get massive deposits of waste. And, at this point, things are more manageable. That's like a small handful versus, God knows, some of you know what happens sometimes in these tubs. So this is one of two animals that pooped today at the same time. So they're on the same feeding schedule, and I guess they're not retaining waste because they're letting go of it seemingly at the same schedule. So I feel like I may have hit some sort of a groove with feeding and humidity. So this is that red T positive. I'm sorry, it's not a red T positive. This is a lion bred red Martyr Lily Red Bull from Selective Origins. And I'm sure she wants to get out of here. So I'm going to take care of her, and then we'll go look at the second animal that left us a present this morning. All right, here is today's second subject. Again, a pretty small poo for an animal that's actually quite impressively jammed itself into this water dish. The animal clearly doesn't want to be anywhere near that waste. I'm gonna get her out of there. But again, this is an animal that somehow managed to eat a very large quail about a month ago and end up leaving like not that much waste. So been about a month since they ate, I think. I gotta check. I would anticipate I'll probably have more animals defecating, and although I'm not a scientist, I feel like that's pretty good to know that these snakes are just on the same page and things are working correctly for them. And plus, it's nice not to have to deal with a large amount of waste. This is just going to get rolled up really quickly. So I guess if you are experiencing short tails just retaining waste for long periods of time, or you're getting massive bowel movements, maybe the best thing to do is just to raise your humidity, and that might help you out. All right, so after looking at both of those snakes and the waste left behind, you can see they're larger than ball pythons, but they pretty much left behind ball python size waste, which is pretty manageable considering some of the things that other animals like to leave behind. In the spirit of talking about waste and defecation, I'm going to show everybody this snake. The video she's in has over 1 million views, and I'm happy to say that a couple weeks ago, she was able to let go of a bunch of poo on her own with the higher humidity. So pretty cool. I was worried about her for a little bit, but at this point, I'm pretty sure she's good to go. So I'm going to continue feeding her, and hopefully next year I'll be able to breed her. All right, well, let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching. Take care.